Before I begin this review, I'd like to give a quick shout out to the YouTube channel Stupid Beagle Reviews, run by my friend Nate. We collabed on the movie Mother's Day. We both ranted on it because we both hated that movie. So if you want to check that out, if you want to know my thoughts on that movie, because I didn't review it on here, you can click the card? Is that what that is? And it'll lead you right to it. Let's get on with the review. Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them is the spin-off to the Harry Potter universe, and it follows the character Newt Scamander, who wrote a textbook in the Harry Potter world called Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them. He goes to New York with a briefcase full of magical creatures. Unfortunately, though, a couple of them manage to sneak out, so now he has to team up with Catherine Waterston's character Tina, a nomad or an American muggle, played by Dan Fogler, to get these creatures back into his briefcase safe and sound, and maybe also stopping an evil force that's also happening in the background of this movie. Now, I'm a fan of the Harry Potter movie series. I haven't read the books, but I am a fan of the film series. The first two movies, they're not too good, but the rest I love a lot. And when I heard that J.K. Rowling was going to be writing a spin-off of that series when they got David Yates, the director of the best Harry Potter movies, in my opinion, to direct this movie, and when those trailers came out, I was super excited to see what they could do with this movie. And I gotta say, I was really impressed by this movie. This is a really nice addition to the Harry Potter series, without really relying too much on the previous films. This is a spin-off movie that doesn't rely on other things we recognize from previous films to be great. Honestly, you could watch this movie without having seen any of the other Harry Potter movies. You don't need a knowledge of the books. You can just see this movie, and I think you could still enjoy it. It honestly really does work as a stand-alone film, and it doesn't need other things from previous films to make it better. Ghostbusters, please! Take some notes! And that's one of the best things about the story of this movie. J.K. Rowling did a fantastic job writing a whole new story in a very familiar world without having them relate too much to each other. J.K. Rowling did a fantastic job, but I think that's kind of cliche to say because a lot of people praise her like on a daily basis. So I don't think anyone was really surprised that this movie turned out good because J.K. Rowling was behind it. Of course it's going to turn out good. And also David Yates, he clearly has an understanding of how this world works, and it really shows through his direction. I was honestly a little worried about this movie after seeing The Legend of Tarzan. I was like, I don't know how Fantastic Beasts is going to turn out, but really, I shouldn't have been worried at all. David Yates has proven with the other 4 Harry Potter movies he directed that he understands the world, and he proves that once again with this movie. This movie is really well directed by him, and it has some beautiful visual effects. Honestly, they look super good. All the creatures have very unique, different designs that help them stand out. You want all these creatures to exist in the world so you can actually see them with your own eyes. That's how magical they really are. And the action sequences in this movie, those were really fun to watch. Mainly the ones where they're just trying to capture a beast back. The way they incorporated live action with those visuals, it didn't look fake or cartoony. They all looked like they fit in this world. And even the big action scene near the end of this movie, it was very well directed. It was a lot of fun to watch, and I think the characters apparated like 15,584,622 times. The apparating is cool and all, but I saw it like a million times in this movie, to the point that it actually got kind of funny seeing them constantly do that little whirl thing. Another great thing about this movie is the characters. All of them are really unique and special. In particular, Newt Scamander, played by Eddie Redmayne. This is the kind of character that honestly has so many layers just by one look that Eddie Redmayne gives, which is why I'm going to praise his performance too. You can just see it in his eyes. He's been through some stuff in his past. There's obviously some stuff going on up here, and that just makes for a more interesting character. I've heard some rumors that Newt Scamander won't be the focus of other Fantastic Beasts films because they're planning like 16 million of these things. I honestly really hope they keep bringing this character back because I want to see more of him. I want to see more of his character and how he grows. I would also like to see how he interacts with Catherine Waterston's character again, Tina. At first, she's investigating Eddie Redmayne on behalf of the Makusa, and then she eventually starts helping him out. I would love to see these two characters interact with each other other again, because these two are very unique. Her character also has some layers behind her as well. Even Dan Fogler's character, Jacob Kowalski, I enjoyed in this movie. At first, I was kind of worried because he is a muggle or a no-mage in America, and he's getting involved with all this magical stuff. Seeing it for the first time, I was like, okay, is he gonna get annoying? I hope not. And he didn't get annoying. He was actually quite likable, and he actually provided for one of the most emotional scenes near the end of the movie. And even though this part wasn't particularly necessary, I enjoyed how he interacted with the other character of Queenie. I thought these two were very pleasant to watch, and I think they bounced off each other very well. Colin Farrell, I will admit, at first, I thought he was doing good. I just didn't really understand what his character was all about. And then a reveal happens later on, and then I reflected on the movie, and I was like, oh, that actually makes it, that makes his character so much better. And I also liked how he interacted with the storyline involving Ezra Miller, and I almost kind of forgot that he was in this movie. I feel kind of bad about it because this is one of the most interesting parts of this movie. Not only was Ezra Miller good in this movie, but with his plot, if done wrong, it could have felt really awkward with the rest of the movie. But David Yates, with his great direction for this movie, he managed to make it feel right with the rest of the events going on. There's really only two glaring issues that I really had with this movie. The first one being the first 10, maybe 15 minutes felt a little choppy. That whole 10 to 15 minutes just felt really weird, and I was hoping the rest of the movie didn't feel like that, and it didn't. But my other issue with this movie is that even though there's stuff going on that I'm interested in, even though I'm enjoying the characters on screen, even though the action and visuals are great to watch, the movie has a really slow pace. It's the kind of slow pace where there's stuff happening and you're overall interested in it and you like it. It's just the movie feels like it's dragging its feet a little bit. I think there could have been a way for them to fix this pacing problem and definitely touched up on those first 10-15 minutes. But overall, Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them is a really fun movie, and I think a lot of people will enjoy this movie, especially if you're a Harry Potter fan. If you're a Harry Potter fan, you will probably love this movie. I'm gonna give Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them a B+. It's a lot of fun, the characters are all well realized, and the visuals are amazing to look at, and the action scenes are also well handled. This is another great addition to the Harry Potter series. But what did you think of Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them? Leave them in the comments below. And I'm gonna have a review for Moana out tomorrow. I just saw it. And also a second shout out to the collab I mentioned earlier in the video that I had with Nate over Mother's Day. Go watch it, it's really good. Please check it out. And as always, thank you guys for watching. Make sure to subscribe. I'm Jackson Fulcher. See you guys next time.